If you're a fan of the show Virgin River, currently showcasing 2 seasons on Netflix, then you're aware of the woman named Alexandra Breckenridge, because she plays the main character of Mel in the series. Mel is a woman who's escaping one life and finds herself lodged in another that wasn't exactly what she pictured, but might just be what she needs. Alexandra does a fantastic job of bringing Mel to life, and as a result, fans absolutely dig her. But how much do they, and you, honestly know about her? Allow us to show you 11 things you didn't know about Alexandra Breckenridge. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 11. Heading to LA. Breckenridge was born in Connecticut, but at the tender age of 13, she and her mother relocated to Los Angeles. She'd become interested in show business, and her mom felt that the best way for her to achieve her goals was to live in the area where it was most likely to happen. At one point, they packed up and moved to another location in California, but within a couple of years, they'd moved back to LA, this time with a commitment to stick it out. This is a classic story in Hollywood of risking it all to accomplish your dream, and if you look at her now, Alexandra is definitely living out her dream. Even if it took her a while to truly get there. That's the way it is sometimes. Number 10. Young Starlet. While you may know her from roles like This Is Us and now Virgin River, Alexandra Breckenridge has been around Hollywood for some time. Her earliest roles came when she was still too young to legally drive a car. Most of those roles involved movies that were made for teenagers, and although the parts weren't very big, they provided her with an important link to other projects so that she could continue to grow in her talent. But if you think she was part of certain cliques that would try and watch over her and help her act a certain way, not so much. I never felt like I fit in with the young Hollywood crowd. I was sometimes so shy, people thought I was a snob, but really I was scared of saying the wrong thing and being rejected. That's an honesty and humbleness that is to be appreciated, as well as mimicked among certain younger stars. Number 9. Voice acting. Breckenridge doesn't just act in front of the camera. She's been a voiceover actress for several years, with one of her most successful projects being the animated sitcom Family Guy. In fact, she feels a certain amount of freedom when it comes to doing voiceover work because she can be as creative as she chooses without worrying about how it will look in front of the camera. Voice acting is something that doesn't always get appreciated by the mainstream media, but it's the backbone of many shows that you and I know today, including Family Guy, which has grown incredibly over the years via its fans and the people who have brought that show to life. And for some, it's more rewarding to do the various voices of all these characters instead of typically being one kind of character in various live-action programs. And as Breckenridge said, there's a freedom to voice acting that can't be ignored. Number 8. American Horror Story. This is a show that has really gotten the attention of a lot of individuals. She had a recurring role in the first season of the show and then came back to guest star in a completely different role during the 3rd season. Obviously, she made the right kind of impression on the producers of the show because she had a longer run than most people enjoy in the anthology series. This proves a lot of things if you look at it a certain way, because more times than not, you're only good enough for one season of an anthology tale. But if you can be brought back multiple times, that shows just how good you really are. And no doubt many Virgin River fans are eager to go and proclaim how great Alexandra is in her role on that show. Speaking of which, when I was offered the role of Mel in Virgin River, I thought it wasn't edgy enough for Netflix and that no one would watch it. I was very, very wrong. That's funny that she thought it wasn't edgy enough, but if you really think about it, it's understandable why she said that. But sometimes you just don't know your worth until someone sees it for you, or people turn out to watch your show in droves. Number 7. Photography. It's fair to say that even the most elite of Hollywood stars have various hobbies and interests that they do outside of acting, right? Well, for Alexandra, hers would be photography, something that she's liked for a very long time. When I was a teenager, I created a darkroom in my bedroom. I stayed up late listening to Portishead and Fiona Apple developing black and white photos. I was very moody. Very moody indeed. But hey, we all have our quirks, right? Oh, and if you're really wondering just how passionate she was about taking photos, here's another tidbit for you. I've almost quit acting to be a photographer at least 4 times. Yeah, for real. She almost gave up acting so that she could do what she felt was her quote-unquote true calling. But obviously that didn't stick because she kept going with the roles. No doubt though, she continues to do photography when she can. She clearly likes it with a passion. Number 6. Scream Queen. Not only has she spent quite a bit of time on the set of American Horror Story, she's also had a guest role on The Walking Dead. You might consider her a modern-day version of the Scream Queens that used to grace the big screen in all kinds of horror movies, often over a period of several years. Clearly, she loves this genre and feels at home in it, which might be why she was a bit hesitant about what was going on with Virgin River, as it was more Hallmark Channel than Walking Dead. But she's made it work, and the show is a hit. So who are we to judge? Number 5. Singing. She had aspirations of singing when she was younger, and those aspirations filled her with just as much passion as her desire to act. In reality, she's talented enough to do both without any problem whatsoever. The thing is, she's become so well known for her acting abilities that most people don't realize she can also carry a tune. Which is a sad part about acting as a whole, because if you have certain skill sets, but the roles you can get aren't allowing you to partake in those skills, it's suddenly a hidden talent, and as a result, something you love isn't something you're using as often as you'd like. Granted, all it takes is one role for Alexandra Breckenridge to show off her singing skills again, and who knows, maybe Virgin River will give her a chance to sing in a later season. Number 4. Tattoos. You might not ever know it to watch her on a television series, but she has several tattoos. When she's acting, she's made the statement in the past that they're almost always covered up so fans never see them. However, she does have a habit of taking photographs of herself and proudly displaying her tattoos in those photos. But it might just be a mental thing over anything else. She knows she has the tattoos, and that must be enough for her. Number 3. Wanting to dance like. If you want to hear another quirk of Breckenridge's that's really interesting, you need only ask her about dancing. I wish I could dance like Rita Hayworth. It brings me so much joy to watch her and Bing Crosby dance. Now, those are some classic Hollywood names, and it just shows how much respect Alexandra has for the olden days of Hollywood as a whole. Because back in those days, singing and dancing were equally as important, if not more important than acting itself. So if she wants to be like them, we say more power to you. Go on and make it so. Number 2. Crush. My first crush was David Bowie. Yeah, that makes sense. He was a lot of people's first crush, even now. Number 1. Special activities. If you haven't realized it yet, Alexandra is a very special woman with lots of tastes, and they extend beyond what we've talked about. Such as, I love baking bread and making quilts. Sometimes I feel like I was born in the wrong era. A bold statement, one that is backed up by the fact that she claims, I love living in the forest. Maybe she was born in the wrong era, but we are glad to have her in this one, that's for sure. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Alexandra Breckenridge and how her life isn't exactly what you might have pictured? Have you enjoyed seeing her on Virgin River as Mel? Were you surprised by some of the facts that were revealed about her? What fact was your favorite of the bunch? Do you know any facts that we didn't mention on this list? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.